Greetings, welcome everyone. Today, another video. I'll be talking about how to prepare for a narcissist in court situations. Before this though, disclaimer: I am not an attorney. Okay, so this is not not an attempt to give any legal counsel to anyone listening. Instead, this is just things that you can use common sense wise or in a strategic manner to help yourself become even more successful in these type of situations. I know that for a fact a lot of narcissists are tuned into my channel. Okay, so I don't go into any like real in-depth specific tactics or details within most of my videos, because a lot of them listen, and that defeats the purpose of those who are truly victims of getting information that will give them leverage and a certain advantage over these types of individuals. So I purposely keep them vague enough. There's other ways to reach out if you have a specific thing that you want to cover, which is through a consultation one-on-one with me, which you can email me at my address. I'll leave in a drop-down box. And they're most on all the videos if you want a one-on-one, and that's based on my availability. But I say all of that to say, with the growing awareness of narcissists knowing that their tactics and their behaviors are being magnified so that people can quickly pinpoint these types of dysfunctionalities, it causes the narcissist to have to operate in a way that they truly dislike. And when it comes to situations like dealing with them in court, biggest thing I always say, number one, do not allow the narcissist to control your temperament. That's their number one game, is to get you off your sound emotional basis where you're in control of yourself emotionally, to where you stay intact and stay objective instead of being thrown off, becoming emotional, and getting into a point where you fall right into their game, right? And that's a big reason why no contact is important, because no contact keeps you from that emotional roller coaster ride with them. It's a lot harder to be objective when you are highly emotional and still connected to the narcissist emotionally. And the narcissist knows this as well. They know that. And this is why the times, or the when leading up to court cases and court situations and whatnot, you may see the narcissist try a fake reconciliation attempt. This is more or less to get your emotions to get wound up into them, so that you start doubting if you really want to go at this, whatever proceeding is going to go forward, if you really want to go at it with the type of tenacity and vigor that you may go at it with, because you're in a state of wanting to get some resolve. The narcissists, they know that. They absolutely know that. And this is where they will try to play on your heart and see if that works. There'll be several attempts that they'll throw in to play on your heart, to get you to kind of like, remember good times with them. And this is to confuse your emotions, to throw you off your game. It's used to gain info as well, because the more if you start to look like you're leaning towards that fake reconciliation, the narcissist is only going to use that again as intel to know how they're going to approach you when it's time to go to court, or what information they can relay to get you to a disadvantage from their legal team or whatnot, if they even have one. So don't go for the fake reconciliation attempts before any proceedings. Another thing is they want to get your defense down. You go in with a certain mindset and a certain game plan of knowing what you're going to do in that situation. And the narcissist basically wants to get you to be an open book, to be kind of like half-assed about going into it, right? And that's another way they have leverage, and another way that they can assure that they're victorious over you in that instance. So things to be mindful of. You don't want them to get you into reactivating your feelings towards them, your emotional feelings of what was the good times, because you're still in a state of cognitive dissonance to where you're somewhat confused, somewhat still thinking that maybe this isn't really them, maybe it's just a big misunderstanding. And if you fall for that or go into that through court, I mean, you're probably not gonna be as effective as you could be, right? So be prepared, if you do stand your ground, for the narcissist to go in with another method of really, trying to bash you in court and make you appear to be, less than what you are, right? So, excuse me. So, I mean, that could really get under your skin and have you an emotional wreck while you're in court, because you're hearing this stuff and you're like, oh, these are all lies. How could they be just telling this stuff with a straight face? Well, that's the name of the game for the narcissist. That's what they want to do, to emotionally affect you. And this is to have you discouraged from a certain standpoint. But if you think about it, if someone's going to go up and they're going to be, at that, to win at all costs, doing something like that, you have to really, before that even happens, see them as an adversary. You have to see them as an opposition, because that's exactly what they are. Okay? Your actions to resolve have to be definitive, at least. You can't have any real gray areas in there when you're going into a situation like this. You have to go in with to have the right resolve that you want. You have to be definitive in your plan, actions, etc. You got to get rid of all thoughts of hope, right? Any thoughts of hope that there could be something reconciled, or you have to get rid of doubt too. You have to don't doubt what you're doing. You have to go in 100% assured that this is the right thing to do. And you have to get rid of any expectancy of the narcissist changing. See, a lot of these things taint how you approach the situation. When you have hope, or when you're doubting yourself, and when you're doubting what you're doing, that takes a lot of that, creative energy out of the mind as well, going into that situation. It also will cloud your judgment. It'll minimize your effectiveness in achieving an overall victory in the situation. So you have to be conscious of this stuff, right? You have to have your head in the right space before you take these type of situations in, especially in the court type situation. Also, when in regards to picking legal counsel, I'd advise to do some research, call around, make sure that the counsel that you're getting is, familiar with narcissistic individuals and knows how to counter them, knows how to expose them properly in these type of proceedings. Because again, narcissists are great actors, and they can, dominate the stage in court by, putting on an appearance that is, portraying them, at least, to be the one that is victimized. But if you have the right legal counsel, they can pick all through that and expose that and somewhat educate the courts on that type of behavior, or expose some of the nature and the tactics that this individual may be using in certain situations within court. So I think it's important to do your due diligence in finding the right attorney. Don't just go with anyone and just because, they say they'll be effective, or, if their record is good or whatnot. I mean, those things are good to take into consideration, but you want to make sure that the one that you're picking has that certain personal understanding about your situation, or a more in-depth understanding about your situation, and know how to approach it, right? Because that's going to make him more relatable, and that'll give you guys more synergy and a better rapport between the two of you. And that's important as well when you're going into a situation like that, dealing with a narcissist in court, because your counsel can prepare you properly, especially if they've dealt with these situations with narcissistic individuals in court. They can prepare you the right way to make sure that you're on your A game, right? And making sure that they have a good plan going in to get the resolve and the results that you want. Anyway, that's all I have to say for this video. Hit the like button, subscribe, share these videos with people who you might think it can benefit. Until next time, have a good one.